Hello, hello. I thought I'd better drop in so y'all could see me. And I could see you being Saturday. Hope y'all are hanging in there. Trying to. I'm trying to. I've had a bunch going on today. On Saturday's my farmer market day. So I went to farmer's market this morning and I got mom out. So that was good. She got in her little buggy and of course uh, I pushed her and made sure she's okay. And we went and saw my friend that makes the barbecue sauce and helped him a little bit. Mama sat there and she undid the little grocery sacks because those get stuck together kind of. So that was kind of unique to get out. Hi, Anita Ross. How are you? Good to see you. Uh, been a busy day. Uh, Probably y'all been busy too, huh? I don't know what everybody's been doing. Texas and Oklahoma's watching the football game, and Texas beat Oklahoma pretty good. So that's what everybody seemed like they was doing. So I went to the grocery store about in the middle of that. After I'd gotten back home, got mom home, I went to the grocery store to pick up a few things I needed. And I thought, a good time would be right now because everybody's engrossed with that football game, Texas OU football game. So if I get in the car and get down there, I can probably get there because they've already been there to get their chips and dips. So that was kind of good. Hi, Diana Robbins. Good to see you. Uh, so I got to the grocery store and I found a few bargains. I love bargains. Y'all know I'm a bargain person. Uh, I guess it was probably because of my grandmother. I'm not sure. She didn't mind spending, uh, but she liked good things and she liked bargains. So that's kind of me. My other grandmother, she had plenty, so she didn't really care about bargains too much. But I always feel like that if I can get a bargain, and if I can get, if I go to say Goodwill or bargain a thrift store or something, and I get a shirt for $2 or $3 and get it laundried, and if I can wear it 4 times, because I usually like these shirts I just put on for maybe what an hour and a half to go to a wake or to the grocery store or somewhere where I don't get all hot and bothered. So then I can hang it back up and I'll eventually get my little few dollars. So shirt is $3 and then getting it laundered is $3 or $4, then that shirt would originally cost me $80 or $90, and you're starting way up there at the top. So there's no sense in because you'll never get your money out of it as much as you have to. And then I can not wear the same thing over and over because I didn't pay very much for it, and I love that. And then I get the good bargains. Love one of my favorite shirt manufacturers is Robert Graham, just like spelled like Billy Graham, but his shirts are thousands of dollars because they're handmade. And I've got several of his, but I got them at the thrift store. I paid $2 or $3 for them. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't if I had the money to buy a shirt that's got hand sewn lace on the sleeves or not rick rack. I don't know, silk ribbon. He does all this beautiful, intricate work on men's clothing, and all hand sewn around the collars and stuff. I enjoy wearing his clothes, and they're beautiful. They're really uniquely designed, and I like kind of to be colorful. So I've gotten a few of his shirts. I think years ago when I was working at the Dallas Apparel Mart, I'm not sure if it's Robert Graham. I know Christian Dior and a few others I would get their samples. You know, I've told y'all before about the suits. I'd get them for $20 to $50 if we wore them. Then everybody, and but those I can still wear the jacket kinda, but I can't get them pants on. I've just spread out too much, a little too much, cooking in that kitchen. Sandra Terry, hi Billie Jean and Mama. Hope you are doing well. Hey everybody, sending love and prayers from South Carolina. Well, hello Sandra Terry. We hope you're doing well. Mother's in there directing and uh, watching what's going on. Y'all, I haven't heard from our friend Peter. I've not heard at all. Boo. I hadn't heard boo from and maybe he's probably staying at the hospital with his mother. I'm pretty sure that, of course, that's what he would do because it'd be just like me. But I haven't heard nothing about her health or well being. And I've gotten most of my procedures, they were all done that got what was had to be done this week. They're finished, of course, because today's Saturday. But I didn't feel too good for two or 3 days. But then Tuesday I go back for that EGD, and and then next Friday I've got to go for the scan of my lower stomach. So that's just I've had the other part of it done this last time. So now we'll go into that, and then hopefully I'll be on the road to get that tumor removed. But today I was real busy. I went to the farmer's market. What'd y'all do today? I bet y'all did something. Y'all are my faithful followers, and I appreciate every one of you. I'm going to start saying that because y'all bless me and Mom every time we read your comments, and I can't respond to them all, or really most of them, because my right eye is getting pretty bad from that macular degeneration. It's hard for me to see. I can see y'all on this iPad or this tablet. Thank you, Sandra. Said we'll continue to pray for Peter and his mom. Yeah, please do, because that situation come on so fast, like it does. I think mother's 100. Not 100, Lord, y'all. She'll come through that TV and yonder at me. She's 93. She'll be 94, and I think Peter's mom is maybe 85. I can't remember, but Mama looked awful pretty today. She had on a floral pantsuit and got her lipstick, and I did her cosmetics, and she looked really pretty at the farmer's market. I mean, who goes to the farmer's market and wears lipstick, nail polish? My mother. She's just that way. She wants everything to match, and she's always been that way. I guess went out to the feedlot, she'd put on lipstick. That's just something she does, and I'm happy she still cares about the way she looks. That's the main deal. Is I think that's when it shows that somebody kind of gives up if you don't keep yourself in order, and keep everything going. I've had some interesting messages and things in the last few weeks, and so I'm just going to slow down. I've decided I can't help everyone and then get myself rehabilitated. So I'm just kind of going to come on here and do live and some cooking if I can, but all my extracurricular activities I'm going to slow down on. Now today I didn't slow down too much. I've already done. I wanted to get one of my closets freshened up and taken out the summer and the winter put back, that kind of thing. So I did 3 washers full of clothes and folded 3 huge. I've got one of the big ones and the big front loaders. And so I did 3 of those. And now I've still got my towels just cut off a while ago. So got all that taken out of the 2 bathrooms that we use, and I got the towels, and mother will help me set in there. And we'll fold them on the bed, watching YouTube, of course. You know, I think my numbers, they seem to be going up, and I'm happy about it. Not that I don't make much, but that's okay. At least this gives me a blessing to be able to come and talk to y'all, and I hope it blesses you, and mother gets a kick out of it. But today I was going through a lot of different uh, files from my art days, and I thought, a lot of watercolors and things that I had done over the years. Let me get a drink. And so then I decided, well, let me look in this other drawer. Well, I found, I started out with this. Let's see, there's Beverly White. Oh, goodness, I caught you. Well, oh, goodness, I'm glad you did, Beverly White. How are you? We're just fixing to discuss some artwork. If my whats don't come out, they're kind of getting a little iffy right now. The Indian art that my stepdad, most of you know, was a physician, and a lot of times he would be paid in jewelry, paintings, pottery, because he was up in the middle of Oklahoma. And so I was going through Albert Harjo is who this. There's a Ben Harjo and there's an Albert Harjo. They're both very great artists, but tonight we're going to discuss Albert Harjo. And I'll give you his little bio. There's not much on him. Now, his work was worth a lot more. Albert was born in 1937. He died in 2019. He was born in the Muskogee Creek Nation. That's near Hannah, Oklahoma. Was a full-blood Muskogee artist of the Muskogee Nation. He studied. He lived on the Muskogee Indian Reservation. He attended Jones Academy in Hartshorn, Oklahoma. Then later, the Chillicothe Indian Agricultural School just north of Ponca City. After graduating with a high school diploma from Chillicothe, Harjo enlisted and served in the United States Marine Corps. He was honorably discharged. Albert painted at the Bacon School, at the Bacon College. He exhibited his work in the 5 Civilized Tribe Museum, Red Earth, Philbrook Museum there in Tulsa, Creek Council House, Eastern, Northern, and then he died September 6th of 2019. That's just a little bio of Albert. But I had a print that was in that drawer. And this is just a print with his signature. Looks like it's been through what, but it must have been in a frame at one point, which is no concern to me because it's not a signed print. It's just got his printed signature on it. So I thought, well, I love that. I love the colors. I love the Indian lady, with her stick, probably in the snow. So I kept digging. I thought, I think I've got some originals. And I did. Now, I'm not going to take these out of plastic because they're too. I'll start with something that's very similar to the one you just saw. This is called Woman Pounding Corn. And this was by Harjo in 1981. And it would be tempera paint on mat board. That's the way the natives painted, was tempera paint on mat board. And this is original. And I'm pretty sure it went with, this is called Seeking Guidance guidance, and it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Uh, and it's signed right here. Let's see if I can get it to where the microphone's in the way, but you can see it if I hold it still. But that's probably a pair. Let me set these. I don't want to give them in trouble. I don't want to get them in trouble. Now this one is probably a 3-piece set. Now this one I love. Stalking the strays. That means stalking the stray buffaloes that they get, the herd. They got the herd of buffaloes, but the strays are the ones that's kind of meandering around, not paying attention and everything. So this one is not in plastic, so I have to be real careful. But you can see the detail of his work on this one and the tempera paint. You can see that. Now the strays, there's the strays. Let me scoot this microphone over. Now see, let's see, right there is his signature. But the work he does and the colors they use is so beautiful, just beautiful. And that's tempera paint, like I told you, because they didn't have money for high-dollar paints. So, and a lot of them would crush their own colors up out of things in the now here's the Apache. He was Creek now, remember that. He was Creek, and this is the Apache warrior. But look at the detail. Okay, now we've got one set. This is called Sacred Ground. This is the burial lift. And it's in plastic, so I'm going to try to, that's the burial lift. Now these I'm going to sell because I don't need any, I've told y'all I've got to sell stuff. I've just got to. And with these being original, they need to be in in the museum or somebody's home because there won't be any more. There's no prints of them. There's never been a print of these. That's the buffalo. It's not titled, but I thought that would be interesting for y'all to see. This one here is not Harjo. This is by Beaver. And this is called, I'm not sure. I can't really see it. But you can see that it's dispelling the barbed wire fence that says no trespassing because they were open prairies. And now this would be tempera also, but it's by Beaver. I don't think Fred Beaver, but I can't really be sure. This is our Beaver, so that's a little tidbit of information that I thought y'all would enjoy seeing some art, original Indian art. And I've got Crumbo and I've got several artists. I've got some beautiful big watercolors that are by some great artists. They're not all natives. But I'm gonna have to get rid of all that because I used to have them just on walls, plus my paintings. I've got to do something with all this stuff. And y'all know I've been saying, so I think I'm going to have a sale in the middle of November, my first portion of an estate sale in the middle of November. And so we'll have to see. Thanks, Anita Ross. Beautiful. Sandra Terry, what a treasure. D. Hi, D. Hey, Benjini Mama. Good evening, y'all. I says I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Well, we know everybody has things to do, and I'm here for those that are just at home by yourself like us and on a Saturday night. And so let me tell y'all something. At the farmers market today, we ran into a couple of people that, oh, they prayed beautifully. One found out I was sick, and the other found out mother was 93. And then my friend that makes the barbecue sauce is 80, 88, I think. Been making that same barbecue sauce for 55 years. 100 and something year old recipe for that barbecue sauce. Oh, it's good barbecue sauce. I'll let y'all know more about it where you can order it because there's no better barbecue sauce than that. But they prayed with us and they have invited us to their church. And we don't get out and go to church because of our immune systems and our everything, but we may try to go because the lady said, well, you can wear a mask. We don't mind. You can do whatever. And I thought, well, that's sweet of you. But they said a real good uh, prayer over me and gave me a little prayer cloth. You remember the little prayer cloths everybody uh, used to give out and you'd carry it with you? Well, I've got one today. It was so nice of her to give me one. And I put it in my wallet. The last one I had, I bet I carried for 40 years, you know. Uh, it's 21 people on. That's pretty good, y'all. On a Saturday night, we're having fun. We had some popcorn and oh Lord, I've got to tell y'all something. I don't know if any of y'all, if you've tried to watch that psychological thriller called Monster by the Ed Gein story that's on Netflix. Well, you better take a half a bottle of Valium and a half a bottle of whiskey because uh, that is and to know that this is true, and all those of the ones that like horror movies, I don't care for them anymore. But in my younger days, I watched Psycho and The Silence of the Lamb and all those. Well, all those movies came off of what this guy did, and it's real. And so I'm gonna tell y'all, if you got a weak stomach or I just can't watch it. It is just. My grandma always said, "Don't watch anything like that because it's not Christian." Well, I get bored of not being able to see stuff, so I take it with a grain of salt. Usually, it's just makeup and latex, and but with this being real and the things that he did to people, it was the devil made over. And all I can do is say a prayer for him because. So don't watch that monster show unless you have got a strong, strong stomach and you got a friend to sit next to you because if you don't, my sister said she tried to watch it and she got so scared she had turned off. I said, well, I did too. So that was this week. Uh, but at the grocery store, I'm trying to think of things sporadically that I can tell y'all before I go off here. I bought some ground chuck and some celery and uh, some strawberries that don't go together. But I was just thinking of what I bought today to kind of do uh, some little something. Guard dog, I hear him. Uh, you never know. You know, there's airplanes that goes all over our property all the time. I don't know what they're doing. Uh, I guess surveillance, possibly. I don't know what's going on. But in Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas, there's a lot of that. I hear people say they see those lights in a string that uh, I can't remember, satellite lights, and everybody thinks it's UFOs. I said, no, I think it's something else to do with something. But you know, when I was young, I was probably only about 10 years, I say 10 o'clock, 10 years old. we lived on that ranch, and my sister and them, she'd already married and left the house because she's 14 years older than I am. And she came down real scared one night. Because back then you had a party line, and she couldn't get us on the phone, so she drove over and said, "Oh, you're not going to believe this. UFOs. They're going down to the one of the stock tanks, and they're filling their flying saucer up." And I just kind of looked at her. I thought I was 10 years old, but I was pretty inquisitive and pretty knowledgeable back then. I thought this sister of mine's gone crazy. Yeah, Starlink. Thank you, Anita. Uh, but there was something going on, and that because they didn't have the Starlink, as Anita just reminded me, and they didn't have any of that stuff, and there was something going on, and they would fill up with their plane or saucer or whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but they would suck that water out of that pond to cool their engines, and then they'd zip off. And several people, church going, honest people, saw it. That was around our ranch and around the other farm, and we never figured out what it was. If today we would say it's Starlink, or it's one of those rockets from down at SpaceX or something like that. But back then they didn't have that stuff, and there was no airplane at that time that could have not had a noise that hovered over the farm. So I'm not sure what it was. Never know. We'll never know. But I've got a lot of stories like that happened on that ranch that I'll tell occasionally when I think about them. But I hope y'all are having a good weekend. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I'll get Mother and her TV pulled up, and she'll watch it on the television. And I'll cook lunch like I always do. Wish y'all was here to eat with us. And I was going to make my friend, the barbecue guy, a raisin pie. He wanted not just a plain raisin pie, he wanted a creamy raisin pie, which is a different recipe, but it's very similar, that his wife made. She's been gone 5 years, and I told him, I said, I'll make it. I was going to make it 2 weeks ago, and then all this transpired. So I was going to do it last night, and I thought, I'm just too exhausted. I can't do it. And when I do things and I'm tired, like when around Christmas was coming and stuff, I'd forget things, or I'd mess up. And so I'd rather not even do it. So I'm going to make the raisin pie this week, and I'll get our, I don't know, I wonder what would be good, y'all. I may make a hamburger soup, and Mother and I can eat that on that a few days. We've got that hamburger that I got, and got some fresh spinach. I buy that fresh spinach in, like you get at by the lettuce and all that. And I wash that good, and I put it, and I make buttered spinach out of that with onions and just a little bit of flavoring. Now I can't have the salt, so I use that new, and I'll get y'all that recipe pretty soon for that new spice that I've concocted that really has helped me not want the salt. I figured I wouldn't be able to do this, and those salt substitutes for a person who has kidney or liver disease is just about as bad as the salt itself. So I'm not going to go down that road. Just like I finally got a stevia. Now I didn't get a stevia that's got anything in it. You have to order it off of Amazon. It's a stevia from the ground up leaves. So if you go to Big Lots or you go to one of these grocery stores, you'll find a stevia, but you'll look on there and it's got not monosodium glutamate, whatever that is. That's not even a sweetener, but it'll have something inside that. So I just researched, and I found out that you can order the powder off of Amazon, just the stevia sweetener. It's about $12, but Lord, you only used, the first, I took a half teaspoon for a big deal of lemonade, and it was so sweet. I with that key lime lemons. So now I just take that package is about like this, and that'll last me probably a year. I mean, it's kind of concentrated, but it does get it sweet, and it's not bitter. To me, it's not bitter. And see, that's what I couldn't, when we've talked before, I couldn't stand those sweeteners because they made my bacon, when I baked stuff, they made them, they made my stuff bitter. You know, like my chocolate pie and my coconut cream pie. And hi, Sherry Long. Yeah, D, I can. Let me see if I can pull it up because I'll forget if I don't. You know, D, I've got so much on my brain right now. Let me see which one it is. And then y'all all know that I'm happy with this, and I would like to know what y'all think. Just get you a little bag of it, and then you can tell me because hold on, I'm not so good about. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is da 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 da. All right, this one is 18. I may have got it while it's on sale, but it doesn't matter. It's 5.2 ounce. Pure stevia extract powder without, this is the word I was looking for a while ago, erythritol. See that erythritol or whatever, when I would get stevia at the grocery store or at the Big Lots, it always had that erythritol or however you say it in there. This is highly concentrated stevia powder, 0 calorie, no artificial. And it's made from stevia leaves, natural stevia leaves. So I don't know where that is. If y'all can see that, I guess. So that is $18.39, but I'm gonna tell you that for $18.39, that this package probably would be as bad as if I was baking my chocolate pies or coconut cream pies. I haven't tried it in the heated puddings or anything, but I'm fixing to pretty soon. Then we'll see how it stands up to that. But I'll be excited because there's a 10% coupon off of it right now. But I don't want more sweet and low. I just want something. This is natural. So I hope that helps y'all. It helped me and I really enjoyed it. Okay, I'm fixing to have to get off here because it's getting a little later and I've got to get mom's. Let me see, D, can you share it? Okay. Hello, Virginia. Yes, Sherry. I'm going more natural and health, so I'll try it, D says. Yeah, try it and let me know what you think. But just be careful. Don't use too much because it's so sweet. It'll make you the sweetest person in the world. Everybody want to kiss. All right, we'll talk to you soon, y'all. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States.